Hello students, today we are looking at a very important chapter of algebra section, that is quadratic equation. Okay, quadratic equation. What is quadratic equation? An equation in this form of ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 is called as quadratic equation. What is quadratic equation? It's an equation where the degree of the equation is 2. What do you mean by degree of an equation? The highest power of the variable, that is 2. So I'll take an example for a degree of equation. If I say I give you an equation here and I'm asking you what is the degree of that equation. Say for example, if I say x plus 5 equal to 7. What is the solution? I take 5 on that side, I get x equal to 2. I have only one solution. That is the degree of this equation. What is the power of x here? 1. Degree is 1. That is degree of equation as here. Second one, if I take an equation as x square plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. If I give you this equation, this will have two solutions or two roots. That is minus 2 and minus 3. This is having a degree of 2. The degree of equation is highest power. So tell me, what is the degree of this equation? You'll say degree of equation as 2, then that's wrong. Reason is, this is in a reciprocal form. If I simplify this further, I get x cubed plus 1 divided by x equal to 1, and I take x that side, I get equal to x. So degree of this equation is 3. So this will have 3 solutions. I take another example. If I say x square is equal to 4, what is square root of 4? You say it's 2. But here, x square equal to 2, what is x? X would be plus or minus 2. Because the big power is 2, that means degree is 2. So quadratic equation has a degree of 2. And for quadratic equation, we say there are two solutions. We say the solutions as alpha and beta. Because variable x, y and others will be using in the equation. Hence we say the roots of the equation or solution of the equations are alpha and beta. Next, I see the variables here as a, b and c. These are numerical values. They are called as coefficients. I'm giving the nomenclature. These are coefficients. So if I give you an equation as 2x square plus 3x plus 1 equal to 0. What is the value of ABC here? I'll just change it. I'll make it as minus 1. What is the value of ABC here? A is 2, B is 3 and C is minus 1. Okay. You have to remember this part of the coefficients of an equation. Right? Now, what is a quadratic equation? First, I will tell you the basic concepts of how a quadratic equation is, and then we'll look at how to solve quadratic equations. First, let's understand what a quadratic equation is. If I take an equation as I'm not giving equation. I've given here y is equal to x square minus x minus 6. Okay. We have a chapter later on called as functions, where we look at putting different values of x and getting the values of y. Let's put in the equation x and let's look at what value of y we get. Let's start with put x as 0. What is the value we get? X square, 0 square, 0, minus 0 is 0, and minus 6, answer is minus 6. Next, put x as 1. 1 square, 1. 1 minus 1, 0. Again, the answer is minus 6. Put x as 2. 2 square, 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Put x as 3. 3 square, 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. Then minus 6, it becomes 0. Right? I'll take x equal to 4. What is 4 square? 16. 16 minus 4 is 12. Then 12 minus 6. What is 12 minus 6? Is 6. Let's take the negative values. Put x as minus 1. What happens when I put as minus 1? I'll show this on the board. When I put x as minus 1, it becomes minus 1 square minus of minus 1 minus 6. That becomes 1. Minus and minus into minus becomes plus 1 minus 6. So it becomes 2 minus 6, that is minus 4. Put x as minus 2. The same way, what do you get? Minus 2 square minus minus 2 minus 6. Minus 2 square is minus into minus is plus. So it becomes 4 minus into minus is plus 2 minus 6. I get it as 0. This is 0. One more, minus 3. I get it as minus 3 square minus or minus 3 minus 6. That becomes 9 plus 3 minus 6. Is 12 minus 6 is 6. This is the different values of, for different values of x, we got different values of y. Right? Let's plot this in the graph. Let's plot this. When we put it in the graph, what happens? Put here, I have my x and y axis. X and y axis. I put the values here. I write 1, 2, 3, 4. I write here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. I see the values are ranging from 0 to 6. So I write here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So this is 6. Okay, this is 4, this is 2. Same with the negative. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So this is minus 6. This is minus 4, this is minus 2. Let's plot. For 0, what is the answer? Minus 6. When x is 0, y is minus 6. It's here. When x is 1, y is minus 6. X is 1, y is minus 6. It's here. Put x as 2, we have y as minus 4. X is 2, we have minus 4. Put x as 3, we get 0. X as 3, we get 0, that is here. Put x as 4, we get plus 6, so it is on top here. Right? Put x as minus 1, we get minus 4. So minus 1, answer is minus 4. For minus 2, answer is 0. For minus 2, answer is 0. For minus 3, the answer is positive 6. Minus 3, answer is positive 6. So I plotted the points on the graph. Let's join the points. What we get when we join the points? We get a graph something like this. This is a shape of a parabola. That is a quadratic equation. Generally, it's an equation like this. X plus 5 equal to 7, and I get x equal to 2. It's going to be a straight line. But this is a shape which is a quadratic equation. Okay, for a quadratic equation. This is the shape of a quadratic equation. Now, this is something which I have taken y is equal to this. What happens when I put y is equal to 0? I make it in the equation as x squared minus x minus 6 equal to 0. I fix the value of y as 0. When is y equal to 0? when the y equal to 0? We got y is equal to 0 when x was 3, when x was minus 2. This is the roots of the quadratic equation. When is equal to 0? When x is 3, when x is minus 2. On the graph, where it is? It is here. It is here. When is the parabola cutting the x-axis? That is the points, the roots of the equation. Okay. This is something that you should remember. The same kind of graph can be there if I had this equation with a minus x square, then this would have been inverted. If I had the same equation in terms of y square, then answer would have been this way. If the same equation with a minus y square, answer would have been this way. Okay, that's the way we have the quadratic equation. More in detail of graph we can see in the next session. First, let's see how to find the solutions of quadratic equation. So you should remember this because this graph representations is also important in the chapter inequalities, which requires you sometimes to draw the graph. Okay. Now, how to solve quadratic equation? The different ways of solving quadratic equation. The first thing what you should remember is, if I have an equation as ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, this is general equation of quadratic. I divide the full equation by a. What do I get? X square plus b by ax plus c by a equal to 0. I have made the coefficient of x square as 1. Then, when the coefficient of x square is 1, then this value becomes the sum of roots. And this value becomes the product of roots, with which you are able to solve the question orally. What is the derived formula from this? What we get is, what is the roots represented as? Alpha and beta. So sum of the roots will be what? Alpha plus beta would become b by a, but it will become minus b by a. Because when it goes on the other side of the equation, it becomes negative. Next, product of the roots, that is alpha into beta, is c by a. So, in terms of sum and product, how can I write general equation for a quadratic equation? X square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equal to 0. There's a first phase when talking about type of question that you get in quadratic equation. These questions, if you have objective based questions, using this method, you can use the options and get the answer directly. Fine? Let's take an example. In the school, you all would have also learned the method of squaring on both the sides, completing square on both the side method and everything. But that is step by step. That methodology I will not be using because we are looking at fast trick shortcuts to solve the questions. Okay? What is the coefficient of x square here? 1. That means I can use this formula directly. So tell me, which two numbers gives you product? Two numbers that gives you product as 6 and sum as 5. 3 into 2 or 2 into 3 and 2 plus 3, 5. Okay. So what is the method for this? The step by step I'll show it to you. The method for this is x square. I'll break this 5x as 2x plus 3x. That is 5x plus it is 6 equal to 0. Next, I take in this 2 and this 2, I divide it 2 parts. I take x common, I get x plus 2. Next, I get 3 common, x plus 2 equal to 0. Now, in both the plus this thing, there is x plus 2 common. So, I take x plus 2 common. What remains? X plus 3 equal to 0. When is the product of two numbers equal to 0? When either of them is 0. What is 0 into 0? Not defined. So both cannot be 0. Remember, both cannot be 0. So it is x plus 2 equal to 0 or x plus 3 equal to 0. Or, not and. Okay, not and, it's or. Right? It becomes x equal to minus 2, x equal to minus 3. So roots are minus 2, minus 3. Okay, and now this is a step-by-step solving of the question. I can do more questions, but let's limit and then look at the different ways of solving the same questions, and then we'll add more questions to our things. So that there is a flow of content knowing the different methods through one simple example. This is a step-by-step solution, but in the exam, you may not have marks for the steps. What is the next method of doing this question? The next method of doing this question is, I take this and I draw an arrow. Which two numbers gives you product as 6 and sum as 5? It is 3 and 2. So I write 3 and 2 on the arrow. When I take the value on the other side of the arrow or other side of the equation, it should change the sign. It should change the sign. So the answer will become minus 3, minus 2. Eureka! You don't require steps. You don't directly. Clear? Fine. Another thing. Let's say in the exam, you probably made a silly mistake. How to know whether the answer is right? What you do is, whatever is the answer should make the value as 0. So, whichever the option, let's substitute and check. For this equation, if I take x square, put x equal to minus 2. So I have x square minus 5x, plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So I put minus 2 square plus 5 into minus 2 plus 6 equal to 0. I get minus 4 minus into minus is plus 4 minus 10 plus 6 equal to 0. Plus 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 minus 10. The answer is 0. So we get left hand side equal to right hand side. So in the exam, what's the first method? Can I substitute the options and solve? Second, can I use the arrow? Third, solve or skip. That's what it should be. Clear? Next method for the same question. Let's say a question is given and you're not knowing which two numbers gives the product as this value and sum as this value. Then how to solve it? Okay. In that case, we have another method which is there. That is, you have to use the direct formula of quadratic equation. The direct formula of a quadratic equation is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. A direct formula to get the roots of the quadratic equation. So in this equation, I write the equation again, x square plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. What is a? X square is not having any value. That means it is multiplied by 1. B is 5 and C is 6. Let's substitute. What happens? It is minus b, so minus 5 plus or minus root of b square, 5 square minus 4ac, so 4 into 1 into 6, divide by 2 into a, that is 1. I get minus 5 plus or minus root of 5 square, 25. 4 into 6 is 24. Divide by 2. I get minus 5 plus or minus root of 1 divided by 2. Right? Now plus or minus because there are two roots. So what is square root of 1? Is 1. So I get minus 5 plus 1 divided by 2 or minus 5 minus 1 divided by 2. I get minus 4 divided by 2 or minus 6 divided by 2. I get the roots as minus 2 or minus 3. It's the same roots which you have. Okay. So how many methods I have shown to you all? A is by substitution. I can check which is the options becoming the equation. Second, I solve it out. Third, I use the arrow. Fourth, I can substitute the options or the answer that I got to check. Is it left hand side becoming right hand side? Fourth, you can use the equation. This is a very basic equation I have taken. I'll take the other equation with a little bit of higher difficulty and we'll continue. Okay students, now we'll continue. Okay, I had taken an example before. Now let's take another example. I give you an example 2 as if I take an equation as x square plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. So which two numbers gives you product as 10? This value is the product and sum as 7, 5 and 2. Right? So I'll do this directly. I'll not use the step by step. The values here are 5 and 2. Answer would be minus 5 minus 2. Okay. Third, I change the same equation to x square minus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. Now, which two numbers gives you product as positive 10 and sum as minus 7? It is minus into minus is plus. Okay, so I have minus 5 minus 2 in the equation. Because sum is minus 7 and product is positive 10. I get the answer as 5, 2. I just need to change the sign. Fourth one, x square minus 3x minus 10 equal to 0. Now, note here, what is the product? Positive. What is the product? Positive. When a product is positive, means either both the values are positive or both the values are negative. Minus into minus is plus. So that means the middle value is the sum. Here, I got a product as negative. That means I have to take the difference. So which two numbers gives you product as minus 10? That means one value is positive, one value is negative. And sum or difference as minus 3. Obviously, we know product minus 10 we're talking about is going to be 5 and 3. We have to use what is negative? Negative sign is greater. So it will be minus 5 and positive 2. Answer, change the sign, 5 and minus 2. Okay. Last of this, x square plus 3x minus 10 equal to 0. Again, product is negative. That means I have to take a difference or else take a sum where one value is positive, one value is negative. So, but the positive sign is greater. That means 5 and minus 2. Answer, bring on the other side equation, I get minus 5 and 2. This is an easy way to solve quadratic equation when the coefficient of x square is 1. Now, what if coefficient of x square is not 1? Then what? Like for example, if I take 2x square plus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Now here, coefficient of x square is not 1. So I cannot do directly the questions. In this case, how to solve? We have an equation in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a is not equal to 1, or even if a is equal to 1, you should remember that b is the sum of the roots and a into c should be the product. Because in this question, What is the coefficient here? 1. 1 to 10 is 10. Okay. But this is the direct way of solving. This requires steps. So what is the product here? 2 into 3. That is 6. So which two numbers gives it product as 6 and sum as 5? 3 and 2. So I do it here step by step. 2x squared plus 5x can be written as 2x plus 3x plus 3 equal to 0. I take 2x common, I get x plus 1. I take 3 common, I get x plus 1 equal to 0. Now x plus 1 is common, and what remains? 2x plus 3 equal to 0. I get x plus 1 equal to 0 or 2x plus 3 equal to 0. X equal to minus 1, x equal to minus 3. So roots are minus 1 and minus 3. This requires step by step. Okay. Or else, in the exam, if you don't have time, put x as minus 1, check, is it giving you 0? But always check for both the options. Okay, because there might be two options with minus 1. So always check for both the options and check its answer. This is the second type of question where you have to take the product as A into C. And then you have to do it step by step. Clear that? Fine. The same questions could have been solved by using the formula of minus b plus or minus. We can use this by the formula also. Minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. By substituting ABC, I will get the same answer. But this is faster than this. Okay. Third level of question. Okay, difficulty level, I increase. I say x squared plus 10x plus 3 equal to 0. Which two numbers gives it product as 3 and sum as 10? You will not get it actually. Okay, because this is something which will be either going to irrational or into a complex number. How it is? We'll see. Now, this question we don't get directly by getting the values in terms of substitution or by applying. We have to use the formula. We'll use the formula. What is A value here? 1. What is B value here? 10. What is C value here? 3. I'll substitute in the formula minus B plus or minus root of B square minus 4AC upon 2A. Right? So, what we get here? Minus 10 plus minus root of 10 square minus 4 into 1 into 3 divided by 2 into 1. What I get next? Minus 10 plus minus 10 square is 100 minus 40 divided by 2. I get minus 10 plus minus root of 100 minus 40 is 60 divided by 2. Is 60 a square value? No. So how can I simplify it more? One way is you may get the answer directly in root 60 or else you need to factorize 60. You can do it orally or I'll do the factorization here for 60. How do I factorize? I want to remove the root sign. So try to divide by square values so that you don't waste time. Because I want to remove root. So I'll do it divide by 4. What do I get? 15. Right? Nothing else left. So what is 15? It is 3 into 5, which are not square values. So I can get this as next step for understanding. Root of plus or minus 4 into 3 into 5 divided by 2. I get 10 minus 10 plus minus. Now 4 would come out of the root. 2 root 15 divided by 2. Okay. Now plus minus is there, divide by 2 is there. Let's separate out. I get as minus 10 divided by 2 plus minus 2 divided by 2 root 15 divided by 2. The 2 gets cancelled, 2 get cancelled here. I get minus 5 plus minus root 15. So what are the roots? Minus 5 plus root 15 or minus 5 minus root 15. It is an irrational number. Okay. What are irrational numbers? What are rational numbers? What are complex numbers? That is done in detail or would be done in detail in the chapter number system. Right? Last part of this is the way to solve the questions, where you can even get questions where they may give you the roots and they will ask you to find what is the equation. How to do that question? We call it in India as reverse engineering. The same thing you have to do in the reverse way. So if I take this arrow, if the roots are given as minus 5 minus 2, what is the equation? On top of the arrow, put 5 and 2. Then if I add them, I'll get a middle value. If I multiply them, I'll get this. Or else we use the direct formula, the other formula which is there, which is given to us as x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha into beta equal to 0. For this particular thing, what is alpha beta? What is alpha plus beta? It is minus b by a, and alpha into beta is c by a. These are also important because higher difficulty level questions can be asked where they may give you an equation in terms of a roots where you'll have to use the formula of a plus b the whole square in order to solve these questions. Those are the next level. But what is important is knowing the types of roots. The type of roots depends on the formula. We have the formula as minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. What is the type of root of the quadratic equation depends on what happens inside the root sign. Based on that we have question. So for simplicity, we use the Greek letter delta as b square minus 4ac for understanding. Right? So if I say that delta b square minus 4ac is 0, what happens? This is 0, so it becomes plus or minus 0, gone. What remains? Minus b by 2a. Nothing plus minus. But the quadratic equation should have two roots. That means both the roots are equal. And there is no root sign. So what is type of root? We get as roots are real, okay, in the bracket rational and equal. Sometimes they will say this quadratic equation is having real and equal roots. Find the value of b. They're given the value of a and c in the equation. They're asking to find the value of b. That means if you use b square minus 4ac equal to 0, you get the value of b. Right? The next set of questions which will be given to you as exercise, in that you will see these examples. Now, next set I say the delta, that is b square minus 4ac is greater than 0 and square value. And square value. Let's say b square minus 4ac is 100. What is square root of 100? 10. So what I'll get? Minus b plus or minus 10. What I get? Real roots. I'll get real roots. We call it as real rational roots. And they are unequal. What is the difference here? They are unequal because one value with the plus sign, one value with the negative sign. Now I say delta is greater than 0 and not a square value. Not a square value. Like in the previous question, we had got root 15. It's not a square value. So what we got? The final answer is one with a plus root 50, one with a minus root 50. That means what types of roots? roots are real, but we say irrational. Irrational and unequal. Because one with a plus sign, one with a minus sign. Here what is defined is that they are irrational, that is with a root sign. Last, I say delta is less than 0. What do you mean by less than 0? Means value is negative. So, if b square minus 4ac was negative 3, root of negative 3. What is the root of negative 3? Not defined. It is complex. So, what we get here as roots as complex and unequal. This is the next thing which is important, where you can get direct derivation based questions in terms of find the types of roots. Or else they will give you an equation where they will define the roots are real and equal. That means they are saying b square minus 4ac is 0. So you have to substitute the values and then solve the question. Okay, so that's the way you need to solve the equations of quadratic equation. More you practice, and if you use this methodologies of solving the question, you may be able to solve all the quadratic equations orally. More about quadratic equations we will learn in the chapter inequalities. Have a nice day.